All right, guys, my name is Eric from ReliableResellers.net, and welcome back to another video. Today is June 1st, and I want to do a video about what sold in the eBay store for the month of May. May was an absolutely record-breaking month for me. I went full-time on my resale business back in May. So I left the university at the end of April, and I went on my own full-time for the month of May. So for the month of May, it was the first time I was able to put full-time hours and full-time effort into reliable resellers, into running my business, and it was by far the best month I've ever had since being in business for myself. I've been in business now for about a year and a half, almost 2 years, sort of unofficially. And this past month, by far, has just completely shattered every record I've ever set, every sales record I've ever had since running this business has all happened in the last month. It's pretty crazy. It's really been really exciting, and I want to show you guys some of what has sold. I've got a few items here. I want to show you guys some of the higher ticket items. If you've watched some of my videos throughout the month, some of these items that you're going to see that have sold are some of the items that you have watched me purchase in those videos. So that'll be kind of cool to kind of watch the video of me purchasing the item and processing the item and getting everything listed up on eBay. And now I'll kind of show you what some of this stuff has sold for and what I'm getting back out of it on the other side. And maybe you can take this as a video that can kind of show you of some of the things you can look for. Not everything I'm going to show you is from the purchases that I've made from the advertisements. Some of this stuff I just picked up at thrift stores and garage sales. Nice. So without further ado, let's get into it. So, first of all, I just wanted to show you guys here the numbers. Okay, so May 1st through May 31st of 2021. So I really am showing you here. This is a custom report. This is my actual eBay stuff. I'm not hiding anything. I'm not, editing any HTML in the background or anything crazy like that. These are my actual numbers. You can see my total sales for that month, for the month of May, was $14,780.59. So, what, $200, $219 and what, 41 cents or whatever short of 15 grand. So, roughly $15,000. And if I scroll all the way over here, you can see my net for the month is almost $11,000. So I had roughly $3,100 in selling costs. That's going to be things like eBay fees, shipping costs, and things of that nature. And then taxes and government fees. So what this is, so now with the online taxes where people are charged taxes for purchasing things online, eBay pulls those taxes out. I guess when I go full screen, you can't really see it. So anyway, so about $15,000 in sales and about $11,000 net. All right, so one of the first items here that sold were one of these hot toys. These came from that big bulk purchase I did with Hector. He had all the G.I. Joes, all the Star Wars, all the Batman stuff. I've made multiple purchases from him, and I've had multiple sales from those purchases. So you can see right here, this sold for $260. So a really nice sale here on this one. Here's another hot toy that sold and got $270 on this one. This was a Star Wars hot toy. This one sold within just a couple of days of being listed. So the Star Wars stuff tends to move pretty quickly. Now the hot toys are not something that I really find ever. But before Hector called me and told me what all he had, I had never purchased and resold a hot toy ever. So, I don't know that you'll run across these all over the place. But if you do find hot toys, they sell and they sell for big bucks. All right, this is a cool one. So this is a Pepsi Cola lighter. So found this at a garage sale. Picked it up for $1. And I know that old advertising stuff sells, especially kind of the weird stuff, the interesting stuff, the stuff that I just don't see all the time. So this lighter, I've never seen a Pepsi lighter like this before. The Scripto VU lighter, in decent condition. I think I maybe have 50 cents into this lighter. I grabbed it at a garage sale, and I know that old Coca-Cola stuff sells really well. I also know that old Pepsi Cola stuff sells almost as well, if not better. So there's a niche of people out there who collect this Pepsi stuff, and they're hardcore. And so you can see here, I turned 50 cents into $60, and this wasn't listed very long. I had this up for a week, maybe two. It was getting hundreds and hundreds of views and lots of watchers. I actually thought I may have been a little too expensive on it because the button here on the side, that button didn't press in. So I'm not sure if it's going to be a working lighter or not. It's probably just going to be a piece of display for someone on their shelf or something like that. But still, very cool item. Turned 50 cents into $60. I'll take it all day long. All right, next item here. This was kind of cool. So this is I had a lot of 56 1962 post football cards, and in this lot you can see it was Mike Ditka, Tom Moore, and Y.A. Tittle. So I lotted these all up together. A lot of the other cards in the lot here were commons, and so I figured by adding Mike Ditka, Tom Moore, and Y.A. Tittle, it would get some more interest to this auction. And sure enough, it did. It only got me 2 bids, but it got me up to $213 for that auction. So that was really cool. Now that Mike Ditka card, it's not in the best of shape, but it's not totally beat up. The back of it was a little bit in rough shape. But, that could be a couple $100 card if they get it graded and get a decent grade. And the Tom Moore and the Y.A. Tittle are sort of the same. Not big bucks, but definitely more than what they paid here. And then they have all the commons to try and do something with. So I just didn't feel like sending these 3 cards off to be graded and then do something with the commons individually. I just put them all together with the Hall of Famers and all the commons, one big auction, and I got $213. So, I'll take it. All right, so here, if you guys remember that that purchase I made where I bought all those junk wax era baseball cards. Well, in there were 11 boxes of these 1993 Marvel Masterpieces, sealed boxes. I took 10 of them and threw them up on eBay and asked $180. At first I was asking $200 a box and they weren't moving. So I dropped them down to $180, and I've sold 5 of them now in the past 3 days. I still have 5 left. I did put 1 box aside for myself. I had 11 boxes. So you see 5 and 5 is 10. So I did put 1 box aside for myself that I might open later. We'll see. Or I might just sell it. We'll see. But I still have 5 boxes left for $180 a box plus shipping, and I'm positive that they will sell. That $700 junk wax baseball purchase is to date has been one of the more profitable purchases I've made for the business. All right, this is a really cool one here. So this is a World War I plumb knife from 1918. This I got a bunch of military stuff from a lady. I have some other knife, a trench knife in there, and a few other things up in the eBay store if you're interested. But this I was asking I was asking a little more than that. And then somebody, I sent an offer to somebody, and they sent me a message asking me if I would take a little less. So I went to the listing, lowered the price, and they bought it. I think I was asking maybe 280, and they said if I would do 250, they'd buy it right now. So I went and lowered the price to 250, and sure enough, they jumped on it. So that's a really cool item. That's not something you're just going to find everywhere. That was one of those deals. It had an all leather, the sheath here. As you can see there with the leather sheath. So this came with the same place that all of those older baseball cards came from. Some of the ones that you just seen, the Mike Ditka cards and all of that. This was where her husband passed away. He had a bunch of stuff in his closet in the shoebox, and was, and she sold it all to me. So that's kind of where this came from. And like I said, I do still have two more of these World War I, World War II era knives up for sale in my store. If you're interested, I know one for sure. I'm forgetting it right now. So I said the knife a second ago. It's failing me here. This one also came from that same purchase. This one was really cool. So this one is what was it? 27 total cards from 1962. The Topps Mars Attacks. And this card right here on top really is the money card. That in the current condition that it's in, and you can see in the bottom down here where the invasion begins, where the N and the B is, it's sort of scratched up, and there's scratches sort of all over the place. But in that current condition, ungraded, that's a $300 card. And then some of the other cards in there are anywhere from 10 to 40 bucks a pop. They're cool cards. They're the original cards, the real cards. So I put it up for auction. The opening bid of 500 bucks. It got all the way down to like 2 minutes left in the auction. I ended up getting a bid. You can see one bid, 500 bucks. Nice little sale for me. Take that all day long. Next up here are some trains. So these trains here are also trains I got from the same place where I got the old baseball cards and some of the military items. This was the husband's who had passed away. He had some of these old HO scale trains. And these, I may have made a bit of a mistake. So I threw these up on eBay and I asked $129.99. I listed them, I pressed the list button, I turned around, walked to the other room, and they sold. It was one of those deals where literally it felt like anyway, 15 seconds after listing them up on eBay, boom, they were gone, they were sold. So I must have either been way too low on the price, or somebody really wanted them. And I don't think I was way too low, because I seen other ones that were this exact set, but they had the boxes, and they were asking $130. So I thought me asking $130 was going to be a little bit too high, but I'll start here, and then in a week or so, if they haven't sold, I'll go down $10 and $10 and $10. I mean, they were the exact same set, the exact same trains, but they had the boxes. But anyway, so I threw mine up there, and they sold within 15 seconds. So if you can find these old trains, guys, they sell really well. Lionel trains, the Allstate trains, the Fleischmann trains I found all sell really well. You're not going to find these everywhere, but estate sales, garage sales, stuff like that, you will find these things. Just keep your eyes peeled, because other people are looking for them too. But if you come across these old vintage trains, these are the metal ones, pick them up, because they sell for good bucks, for good money. All right, so here's some more toys, right? So I bought a bunch of action figures from Hector. It wasn't just brand new stuff. It was also some of the loose figures. He had a lot of the G.I. Joes. So here was, here's an 86 G.I. Joe Viper. We got 40 bucks. Here is an 85 Shipwreck with some accessories you see here. I got 60 bucks for that guy. He was a 1997 G.I. Joe Cobra Star and Striped Stalker action figure. Got 25 for him. Here's another 82-83 Cobra Commander. Got 40 bucks for him. And here's a 1982 G.I. Joe Snake Eyes, the straight arm version. And we got 80 bucks for that guy. So a couple $100 there in the loose action figures. Absolutely love that. All right, so here's another. I was trying to move out some of these, a lot of these G.I. Joe action figures that you see me picked up from Hector as well. So we sold a bunch for 40, 50, 60 bucks a piece and made almost all, if not a little, almost all of our money back. And then if you factor in the loose figures and some of the other stuff that is sold, well into the profit. So here, these are mostly between $12 and $25 action figures. So rather than piece them out at 20 bucks a pop, I just put them up in one big lot, 23 of them, 425 bucks plus $13.90 shipping, and somebody jumped on it. Shipped them out, love it. It's a nice little payday. That's pretty much all profit. So love that. All right, this is kind of cool. This isn't a high dollar item at all. This is I really only picked this out because number one, I just think it's kind of cool. They're pencils from 1958. You can see they're on the yellow top there. It says Snoopy 1958. So kind of cool story here. I bought at a garage sale. This lady had a big tub full of old pencils and pens that were factory sealed. So I bought the whole tub for 15 bucks, took them home. They're all vintage stuff. And I threw them up online, and oddly enough, people are buying an old vintage pencil, a mechanical pencil from, like 1972 or something that's still factory sealed. People will pay $3, $4 for it, and they'll buy 5 or 6 of them at a time. Oddly, I just bought them because I seen they were vintage. This was kind of early on in my picking career, so to speak. And so I just, anything vintage I was grabbing. And these turned out to be a decent purchase because I have I've made my money back times 10 or 15 on these because these things just keep selling. You see, 10 bucks a pop. But you see, I've sold 2 of these. But some of the other ones, some of the other pencils, the automatic pencils, the mechanical pencils from like 1970 or whatever, sold a lot of those. Some of them are 4-packs for like 20 bucks. And for whatever reason, mechanical pencils, vintage mechanical pencils, people buy them. So if you see them out there, keep your eyes peeled. If you see some mechanical pencils and stuff like this, and you can get them cheap enough, people will buy them. This was a cool one. So I almost kept this because my GoPro is not the best. And this guy was amazing. This camera, all of these lenses, everything was in amazing condition. No scratches anywhere. All the cases. I mean, it was just really good condition. I think I paid at a garage sale. It was on camera. You guys probably seen it. 50, 60 bucks for this. And we ended up, I was asking $350 initially. I had to lower the price a little bit, but lowered it down to $320 and got it to move. I absolutely love that. Taking 60 bucks and turning it into $320. I mean, I do that all day long. It just puts a big smile on my face. All right, here's a cool one. So of course, video game stuff sells. It's no, no big secret. But this one was one of those garage sales I walked up to. It was late in the day. It was, 10:30, 11 o'clock, which for garage sales is late in the day. And so, I was asking the lady, well, hey, just by a long shot, do you have any video games? She said, well, I do have an old Nintendo in the house. I said, oh, well, great. And she comes walking out and goes, oh, there's no Nintendo. It's a Super Nintendo. So, okay, perfect. And so I asked her, how much do you want for it? And I think she was like, oh, I don't know, buy me a coffee. And I was like, well, how about 20 bucks? And I gave her 20 bucks for it. Now with this one, if I remember correctly, it had a crack on the side. Yeah, it had a crack right here. But that's okay because it powered on, it worked fine, had all these games. None of them were, you see the red light there, so it works fine. Had all these games, no really great games, but Super Mario World, so a couple of decent games. And so we lotted all this up for 180 bucks, right? So we have a $20 purchase from a garage sale that we turned into 180 plus 12 shipping. I will take that all day long. All right, next up, this is a kind of cool one here. So this one, I went to a garage sale, and again, it was late in the day, and the guy seen my shirt, and he was asking me, what all do I buy? And he said, well, do you buy trains? Lionel trains. I said, absolutely I buy Lionel trains. And he goes, well, I've got some Lionel trains in the house. You want to come inside? And those are my favorite words, right? So I said, absolutely, let's go inside. Let's see what you got. So it turns out, I think in a couple other pictures here, tabs, I have some more of the trains. But here, not only did he have Lionel trains, but he had a big box full of these. They're just little houses. They're, I think they're the houses that you put like along the tracks, right? To sort of make the track look like you're driving through a town with, poles and whatnot. Called Plasticville USA kits, and they all had the original boxes. They were all old from the 50s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. And all the pieces were there, as you can see here. They were a little dirty, a little beat up, but, they're all there. So I took them, threw them up on eBay, and asked 230 bucks, and we got it. So again, really nice pickup there. Okay, so here's another Super Nintendo. So this one, if you guys remember on another video, I went and bought a bunch of stuff over in St. Petersburg. A guy called me, said he had a bunch of video games, some vinyl records, some action figures. That's where we got all the He-Man action figures. And all that stuff. One of the things he had was a Super Nintendo with the original box. And so this will actually be an interesting way to show you guys the power of an original box. So you've seen here a Super Nintendo, 2 controllers, and 8 games, 180. Here, a Super Nintendo with no games, 2 controllers, and the original box, almost $300, right? $300. So that original box got me what? Another $150, $130? And I don't have any games to go with this. It's just the Super Nintendo, Super Nintendo, 2 controllers, and the power cable, and all the cables to connect it up to your television. Pretty crazy, right? Pretty crazy. So that's a nice pickup there. 300 bucks on that one. Take that all day long, guys. And here's some of the He-Man action figures from the same purchase where we got the Super Nintendo. So here you can see we have a 1984 Modulok, 100% complete. Had all his accessories. Had the booklet and everything. So we got 65 bucks for him plus shipping. Here we had the Skeletor. We got 60 bucks for him plus shipping. And I think that's the only... We sold a big lot that I don't know if I have pulled up that had all of the other ones of those in it. So, between those two, we were, that's, 120 bucks? Take it all day long. All right, here's another one that we got from the same garage sale where I got the Lionel train stuff, where I showed you the Plasticville houses. Guy had a bunch of records inside his house as well that I seen, and so I just asked him, hey, any interest in selling some records? He said, sure. So I picked through the records. I bought this for $1. This nice Led Zeppelin 2 record here. Threw it up on eBay, and it sold for $70. So turning $1 into $70. I will take that all day long. And guys, if you see vinyl, especially rock, jazz, rap, certain, old hip hop, certain types of country, snatch that stuff up if you can get it for a 50 cents, quarter, a dollar per vinyl. Buy it. Of course, the condition of the vinyl is going to matter. The condition of the sleeve is going to matter, and the condition of the case itself is all going to matter. But if everything is in at least semi-decent condition, a lot of this vinyl, as you just seen here, it does go for good money. A dollar into 70, I'll take it all day long and twice on Sunday. So here now, this is that garage sale I was talking about before, where I got the vinyl record, and we got all those Plasticville houses. So this is the actual vinyl train set, Lionel train set that he wanted to show me when I first went inside. So this has all the booklets. There's some trains in there, transformer back there in the back. And it's just Lionel trains. They weren't fancy ones, but they were nice. They were metal. There were no locomotives. There was a locomotive. I'm sorry, right there up front. But they were small ones. They weren't the big ones. So they weren't big money. I think this guy was like 6 inches long. They were really small and a little bit beat up. They were missing a few wheels, and they didn't exactly roll the best. But they were vintage Lionel trains, legitimately Lionel. And as you can see there, we got $100 for that. Take that all day long. All right, this is cool. This here, I got this at a thrift store. So I was up at Red, White, and Blue. I was up at Red, White, and Blue Thrift not that long ago. Don't go there too much anymore. They're just way too expensive now. But I did go up there not that long ago, and they had this, and I think I paid $20 for it, $19.99. Just really cool, just a 1982 GI Joe telephones, like an intercom system, like the, you can go across the room and take that phone and take that phone, and then of course they're connected through this cable, but you can kind of talk back and forth through the phone. Like I can be in this room and you can be in the other room, and we can kind of talk. It was kind of cool. Had the instruction booklet, and it was in decent. It worked. So that that was cool. There's your red lights, right? So turn $20 into 75. Not the biggest of flips, but I'll take it. Okay, here's another cool one I got from a thrift store. So this one here, I don't remember which thrift store I got it from. But here's just a vintage, I don't know what year, 50s maybe, I think. Just a cast iron horse and buggy, in good shape. Nice condition here. It's got the wire here that connects the guy to the horse. The wheels did roll. It was all in all, in pretty good condition. I don't think I had much into this at all, honestly. A couple of dollars, maybe $3.99, maybe is what I think I paid for that. I think that actually may have come from Salvation Army for $4. Not for $3.99. Now that I'm thinking about it, so we'll just say $5 after taxes. So to turn $5 into 60 on what I think is a pretty cool item just to have in the store. This did get some pretty good. You can see right here, page views. It did get 823 views, so that's pretty cool. Did take a while to sell. It's been there for probably 6 months, but didn't take up a whole lot of space in my inventory, and it sold. All right. If I haven't already mentioned to you guys, I like selling golf clubs. I can find boxes for them pretty easily. Packing up a golf club isn't that difficult. I can just go up to Edwin Watts and get a box, and they fit in there perfectly. A little bit of bubble wrap or something on the inside, and that, that's really it. Shipping golf clubs is easy, and you get the right club, and you can definitely make some good money. I paid $20 for this club at a garage sale. So I picked up this club. It's a nice club, real nice shape, real good shape. I cleaned it up a little bit. Shined up nice, so we threw it up for $120. So we turned $20 into $120 on that golf club. I really like selling golf clubs and baseball bats, because usually you can get them for relatively cheap at garage sales, and they tend to, the right ones anyway, can bring hundreds of dollars. I mean, this one was only 120, but I've sold drivers in the past that were $360. You know, I've sold baseball bats in the past that were $470 that I paid $25 for at a garage sale, right? So don't shy away from golf clubs and don't shy away from baseball bats. There's some good money to be made in them. And shipping isn't really all that hard. All right, so the last two items here I just think are cool. So I got a phone call several months ago, several months ago, from a lady who said she had some stuff and she was just looking to downsize a little bit. And so I showed up, and she didn't have a ton really of anything that was interesting. It was a lot of, you know, garage sale leftover type of a thing. And so I, you know, pretty much told her, thanks for, you know, letting me look at the stuff, but I'm just, you know, it's just not gonna be something I can do anything with. And so she said, okay, well, no problem. Well, I have this whole big back room and it's just full of books. Would you be interested in looking? So I said, you know what? I'm here. Sure, let's go take a look. So I go back and we walk into this room, and the room is basically nothing but, you know, novels. It's just the little paperback novels that, you know, probably aren't worth but maybe $1 or $2 a piece. But she had some randomly just sitting off in the corner, a couple of sealed, and you know, these are completely factory sealed. And they were just sitting there, and then I looked at them and I said, well, those are interesting. You know, what can you tell me about those? And she said, well, I don't know. They were my husband's, and he isn't here anymore, and yada, yada, yada. And so, you know, I just, whatever. Just give me a couple bucks and you can have them. So, okay. So I gave her a couple of bucks. I didn't look anything up. I just, you know, they were brand new, factory sealed. I figured, okay, I mean, worst case scenario, I take them and put them in my garage sale and ask $5 a piece for them, and you know, make my money back or a couple dollars. So there was two of them. So I bought, there was this one, and there was this one. This one had 4 books in it, and this one had 3 books in it. So I got home, put them off to the side, kind of put them in my death pile, and I didn't think anything of them. A week or two goes by, and I'm sort of making my way through some of the death pile stuff, and I get to these guys, and I look them up, and my jaw hits the floor. I could not believe how much they were selling for. They were selling for anywhere from $150 to $200. I could not believe it. And I could not get mine listed fast enough. So I threw mine up quickly. You can see the page views. Like this one got 469 views. This one got 448 views. They weren't up there, but for maybe a week, week and a half at most, and they sold. And you can see I basically got $185 a piece. You know, I mean, that's almost $400 for the 2 items. And, you know, the buyer paid shipping. So that was a really nice flip there to turn just a couple of dollars into almost $400. And again, that's before shipping and fees and taxes and all of that stuff, right? So, but, you know, really nice flip there. Really, really, really nice flip there. So anyway, guys, that's some of the stuff that I have sold. There's a lot more, of course, you know, when you're talking about, you know, when you're talking about doing, you know, $15,000 in sales over the course of a month, you know, that's, you know, there's a lot in there that has sold. So, you know, let me just see here if it'll tell me how many actual items I've sold. I'm sure somewhere on here it would say that, but I don't have it pulled up here. I mean, you know, I'm showing you guys the real deal, and you can see right here. Maybe you can't actually. You can see right here, you know, what the actual stats are. You can see why this is such a big deal this month. I mean, look at this. I'm up almost 100% for the month of May from the month of April. Almost 100% difference. So that means, you know, $15,000 in the last 31 days. That was what, about 7,500 in the other one. So me going full time and trying to get this all figured out, I've been able to double that in the first month. Anyway, so I think that's pretty amazing. I think that's pretty amazing. So guys, here's here is sort of a May recap for me for reliable resellers. Hopefully this kind of can show you guys some items that when you're out shopping around, if you're out at thrift stores, if there's some things that you can see that maybe this will spark some interest for you. Hey, that'd be great. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. This was just sort of my my May recap for what sold for reliable resellers. Again, we did about $15,000 in sales. Oh yeah, let me recap this part because I haven't really said it. So about $15,000 in sales. I did show you guys. There was about $11,000 here in. So about $11,000 of that is net. So gross was about 15. Net is going to be about 11. And then after all of my cost of goods, after the taxes and fees and everything like that, I'm sitting at about $6,000 profit for the month. So not great. $6,000 a month profit is okay. I want to be closer to 10. I want to be closer to $10,000 a month cash profit in my pocket, not gross sales. But after shipping and fees and taxes, the goal is to be at 10 grand a month. That gets me to the warehouse. That gets me to the next step where I need to be. That gets me to hiring the first employee, which I'm really close to having a need for. I mean, my whole apartment is all these comic books I have to process, and there's a ton of inventory that still has to be listed up on eBay. So I'm getting to the point where I might need to hire someone to come in here at least on a part-time basis and start helping out. But I want to get to $10,000 a month consistent profit to get there. And I'm not that. I mean, after 1 month, I've doubled where I was before. So if I can keep the lead generation coming in and just keep everything happening, I mean, I don't see any reason why it's not going to be possible. Have to keep grinding, have to keep hustling, and have to keep working. But that's what I'm doing, and it seems to be working out. I just showed you guys the numbers. So after it's all said and done, made about $6,500 this month, maybe a little less, just say 6 grand, right? So that's not too bad for my first month. Of being on my own. That's what, $72,000 a year, which that's okay money. I'll take it. It's not where I want to be, but it's a good place to start, provided I can keep doing it. Anyway, guys, so thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you got some ideas out of here, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day. See ya.